97.3 Citi FM. Relevant radio, always.
What I'm saying is that we women, can we move out of the boxes that society and we ourselves have placed ourselves in? Can we move away from the box? Can we agree that based on what people think and what we have been introduced to, we have some fixed mindset about ourselves? And we need to look at it again. Do you agree with me? Okay, so let's go to that. We want to embrace in this world of digital stuff. We want to embrace the digital concepts and dynamics and change. So, what are some of these boxes that we find ourselves in? We are talking about walking this tightrope. Our tradition says that you have to be married to be respected. And you have to be married at a particular time. Because your biological clock is ticking. And if you don't marry, you can't have children. Because if you don't have children, you are also not recognized in society. Who says all of us have to have children? Who says we have to be married? And the sad thing is that they say we have to be married by a certain time. So some of us, we do what we call reduce to clear. You think it has got something to do with being able to balance career? Let's look at some more boxes. You must submit to men because they are the head of the house. Who said that? The Bible said each one should submit to their own husband. It doesn't mean the entire male populace, whatever. You have to submit to all men. Fixed mindset versus growing mindset. So if a catcher will say, come on, to know where I am one now we don't want a situation where you have children and then they are asking, who would you answer? Now, to succeed in anything in our world, you have to be either divorced, single, or widowed. Because if you happen to be neither of these, you can't succeed because somebody will bog you down. This is a box. You have to aim at middle management, where the responsibilities are manageable, not top management, because that's the prison of men. Why? This is our mindset. I want us to understand that that's where the change can come from. If you change that fixed mindset, always remember that picture with Jesus. You recognize Jesus because everybody says Jesus is white and he's always seen with flowing hair. You don't see him with short hair. So that's how we see ourselves, the way society and we have. And so it's true, I really empathize with the lady who mentioned her plate is full. It's the same story for all of us. Our plates are full. We are the ones who have to do the cooking, the tidying up, going to hospital, emergency, we carry the children in our womb and look horrible and have to spend so many years trying to lose weight. And when we can't lose weight, the men leave us because we are not the ones, the type of women they married in the first place. And then we go to PTA, we are the same people running around. And you say I should be part of top management? No. When it's time for us to do the top management, go to boardroom, only few of us can do that. We don't want to raise our hands because we are tired. Not even tired. Tired. You want me to talk about more boxes?
Yes.
A woman's place is in the kitchen. So if you happen to marry or you have a partner, somebody who can cook, and maybe you are not so good at cooking. When you cook, you have a running stomach, all of you. But your partner loves to cook. The man in your life is very good at cooking and he loves cooking. What is wrong with allowing him to cook? Hey, his sister will visit you one day and say, hey, what do you call them?
Of your business. I'm trying to get this okay. The success of your business is dependent on you having a business strategy. Now, that business strategy, it includes several elements which form part of a successful entrepreneurial career. And I bullet pointed some of these. I don't know whether you can read it from where you are, but let me just quickly read what it says. It says, the first one is vision. It's important to have a vision. Entrepreneurs are visionaries. It's important to understand who you're targeting for your business. So you need to know who your preferred clientele are. What are your approaches to business development? How are you going to actually tell the world your story? It's important to have that, otherwise you don't have a business. And an entrepreneurial career requires you to demonstrate very strong leadership skills because you are a role model, whether you like it or not. There are people who are watching you, who want to see do what Estelle does, want to do what Djibouti does, who wants to do what Ellen does, and she's a role model. So you are required to actually build your leadership skills. It's not just about selling your service or your product. Leadership is very important, as is developing people. And like Estelle said, work-life balance. You can't be successful without having a good work-life balance. And also issues about your supply chain. I know that Djibouti has a successful business, and I'm sure she has 1,001 third-party suppliers. How do you choose that? How do you choose those people as an entrepreneur? That is so key. And also your financial model and your pricing strategy. A loss-making business is not a business. So you need to ensure that you have a price that makes you a profit so that you can actually have the business in the medium term and in the long term.
How many of us know what our body type is? Speak the truth. How many of us don't know? If you see this table setting, let's speak the truth. How many of us can recognize everything? And me, even me, I'm still trying. Those of us who can't, let's lift up our hands and shame the devil. Tell him we can't. Why? People will spend time designing their home. But the very clothes you put on is the last thing you worry about. Setting them up, arranging them, and preparing them. But then you will say that I'm always in a hurry. Because sometimes some of us have too many wrong clothes. So to them, so it's your inspiration, so you are keeping it in your closet. Abba. Tell someone, look at them and say, Abba. Wow. So I'll give us some few tips because I need to speed through this. I'll share with you a few tips. First, everybody needs to live by design. Everyone. And there are some factors that make you be able to identify your image very quickly. I will speed through them. There are factors you need to know. A lot of us will make these mistakes. The first one is your age. When age is a factor in determining your image, you could be 60, 40, 20. How old are you? 17. But some of us, we don't dress our age. Everybody here has 6 body types. You fit into one or the other. First, hourglass. And I'm giving you this assignment. Go and look for it. You will find it on the internet because I can't do it. Everyone. But hourglass is a very thin person with a small waist. Thin person with a small waist. Next one, inverted triangle. You are the woman who has big bust, small bottom. Rectangle, straight from head to toe. I am a rectangle, hey, from head to toe. Triangle, small top and boshka. You see that one? And then you have diamond. A lot of us, when we get pregnant and have babies, our shape changes to diamond. Because you now have the big tummy, small here, but the one thing that is showing is here. How many of us know what I'm talking about? Oh. And then you have the oval, who is slightly. How can all of these shapes take one dress? They'll say, oh, if you are dark, as for black, we can't do anything about it. But if you are dark and you wear black, we do. So, if you put a little bit of white, what's up? If you put black and white, do so. Oh, outfits that dominate, and I'll talk about that next. But basically, you need to know your marital status. Because sometimes a married woman cannot dress like a single woman. I lie. saying that a single woman should go out and flirt, but a single woman may dress to attract. Seriously. A married woman is dressing to attract one person. A single woman is dressing to attract a sea of people. Age has nothing to do with economics. Nothing, absolutely nothing. The way you outfit yourself has nothing to do with how much you spend.
And it felt bigger than me, but I'm still here, and I've made it through. And that's just life. It's a bit of a roller coaster. There's highs, there's lows. And that's what it's all about. It's about picking yourself up each day. So I don't want to present any false image. I want to be very honest with you that I regularly feel like I'm not doing as well as I want to do. These challenges are bigger than me. But it's about getting up again and keeping going. And I'll talk about some other things through my presentation. So on my, as I said, asked to talk about winning the battle. And I'm going to take you through 3 slides that focus on 3 key areas that I'm having fun with this year. And then look a little bit closer at the workplace. So I don't know if any of you have read the book Lean In. Anyone here? Lean In, good. Some Lean In fans, hand in the air. I'm on about chapter 3, but and I pick it up every once in a while, especially when I'm traveling. I take it with me on the plane because it's easy reading. And besides, I know everyone's looking at me thinking, oh wow, she's really leaning. So it looks good. We've always got to look at it. Super important. I think we're going to hear about that later on. And she's got a lot of criticism. You know, people say she went to, you know, she's had an excellent education, she's got a great job, she's earned enough money that she's senior enough in Facebook now, that she's able to make decisions about how she uses her time and so on. But the most important message I take from Lean In is about being ambitious in everything you do. I love waitressing. I've done a lot of waitressing. And I love doing it. I love a full room and being, you know, the challenge of keeping everyone happy, keeping the kitchen happy as you're putting in the orders, bringing out the food even when it's a little bit late or you get someone's order wrong, spilling food or drinks on someone, and still being able to keep them happy and get them to leave and leave you a tip and say that they're going to come back. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. And I've cleaned toilets. This is probably too much information, but I've cleaned toilets that people have been very sick in. You know, so I've done all kinds of jobs, but in everything you do, you should be ambitious. You should aim to do it the very best. And to young people, I say, you know, when you get an internship and you're placed at reception, and a lot of what you're doing is making tea and coffee for the MD, make sure it's the best tea and coffee that MD ever has, that they will remember you and ask you to come and do things even more important to them. And tea and coffee, by the way, keep lots of busy people going throughout the day. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, be ambitious in everything you do. Live the life that you desire. You know, and that's a tough one to do every day. And we often, as I said, feel down, feel stressed, overburdened, feel like we're not where we want to be. But it's about being happy with where you are and celebrating where you are at that moment. And being clear about where you want to go. You might not be there yet, but you know where you're going. I know in Ghana we're pretty free to bring up religion. So we all know that God brought us here for a purpose. And each day we are living that purpose. So don't let that day go by. Because you're living that day that takes you to that ultimate destination. And so you need to live it fully and be happy in it. And dreaming the impossible dream. So my impossible dream is about being the president of Ghana. I feel it's impossible because I know the sacrifices that are out there if you take on a task like that. But that's the biggest dream that I can have. Google has about 30,000 employees, and you know that is possible. They manage those 30,000 people and do it really, really well. So why not manage 25 million people? That's the biggest challenge I can imagine, and I would love to have that opportunity. I don't yet know that I'm going to be brave enough. Just realized recently that there used to be a cap on the age limit for doing national service. So it was that if you reached 40, you didn't need to do it if you hadn't done it anymore. But I was there yesterday and found out that you have to do your national service irrespective of your age. and I haven't done mine yet, so I'm going to have to do it if I want to be the president of Ghana. So these are the challenges that one faces.